Now let's continue detailing the leg by adding the foot. So this is kind of where we left off here with the leg. I'm going to take the leg here and add just a little bit more resolution in here. So I grab the right object and I'm just going to use the knife with the loop. I'm going to drop a loop in there right around the calf and then also a couple right around the knee. And then let's actually just add one right here. And then I'm just going to take these and kind of smooth them out a little bit. So I'll kind of bring that in and scale it down just as we were doing before. And I'll kind of move that back. Let's take this back a little bit. And then on this one, where the calf is, I'm just going to widen that up a little and still move it back, just so we get a little bit of that indication of the calf back here. And again, I'm making this a little bit larger than the drawing because it is going to be smoothed. Okay, and then you can take a look at it here as well. Kind of move it over just a little bit. So it gives us a little bit more of a good leg shape there. Now, I want to build the foot off of here, but the leg, I've built it so that it is angled just a little bit. So I'm going to call this line the front of the leg going straight down the knee. And so I want the foot to come straight out this way. So it's going to come out at a little bit of an angle. So to start, let's take the end of this. And now looking at this, I think this is going to be our front line. So let's go to mesh. And then I want to make sure I select the leg. Go to polygons. And let's go to mesh, create, close polygon hole. We'll close that up. Now I'm going to take the knife and draw a straight line from front to back. And I want to make sure I've got the knife selected. And I'll choose line mode, turn off single. There we go. So bring it across like that. And then we can also come in here and go across. And you can go all the way across. You don't have to stop in the middle. So that allows us to create those bottom faces here, which are connected. Let's take those bottom faces and do an extrude. So I'm going to kind of pull this down a bit. And now I want to select these polygons right here. And let's do an extrude. So I'll kind of pull these out a little bit, and then I'll just use the axis to kind of pull it out a little bit further. And we can use the sort of side and front views to get it the rough size that we want to have here. Let's grab the points themselves on the bottom. I'm just going to pull it down a little bit. Now obviously we need to add a little bit more shape to this, but we don't really have a chance to do that because we don't have enough resolution in here. So let's go in and add some lines. So we'll go to the knife. We go back to the loop. And I'm just going to start to drop in some loops, and now we can just go in and begin shaping this. So you can do it point by point. You could use the brush tool to shape it, but I'm going to kind of bring this down. You can grab kind of all these points, and you can see kind of where it needs to be here. So you can kind of real roughly bring that down a little bit, grab maybe the toes, keeping in mind this is going to be smoothed out. And then I want to add a little bit of that foot shape, so I'll come here on kind of the sides, and keep in mind this is the outer part of the foot. So I'll kind of pull this down a little bit. I can bring this down as well to kind of match up with that. Let's do the same thing over here. And now it's just kind of a matter of shaping this foot. I want to leave a little bit more of the bridge of the foot, or the arch rather, up at the top. Okay, so we can get something like that. Now, if you want to create sort of the boot bottom of this, you can select the polygons just at the bottom. Let me go ahead and select all these across here. So we just have the ones at the bottom. Let's do another extrude. We'll kind of pull that down a little bit. And to create the seam for the sole, pretty simple to do. We can go ahead and just grab the magnet and let's just add a couple loops right over here. And then I'll go to edge, go to a loop selection, turn off boundary loop. And then we'll kind of scale this in a little bit. And then anytime we smooth geometry, it's going to be very soft when we don't have a lot of geometry, a lot of resolution there. So this is going to be very soft. So to tighten that up, you want to add supporting edges. So this will tighten up the bottom edge. This will tighten up these edges up here. Okay. Now we also want to start to connect this up. So let's take both of these and connect them. And then we can just come in and use our stitch. So let me go select loop. And we want to select the two boundaries. And then I'll just stitch this together. And I think we want to go right here. And then you can just use your knife to add an edge in there and kind of soften things up a little bit. Okay, so you spend a little bit more time tweaking the shape of the foot. It could probably be a little bit wider, so you might want to widen it out a little bit. But the next thing that we'll do is go ahead and start to block in the shape of the head. So let's do that next.